talk about season 4, episode 7 of Supergirl, Rather the Fallen Angel. Yes, Rather the Fallen Angel. I am Shanna. I'm here with the doctor. And
it was a holiday weekend. Give us a break, guys.
I know.
Give us a break.
And the Monday after a holiday weekend is just always
trash.
a mess. It's just, yeah, it is. It's just trash. Like, I spent at least 90% of my day today just responding to emails and looking and like making sure all the stuff that I had like set up, and I was like, cool, this is all happening over the break, or like it's like all set and ready to go when I come back. Troubleshooting like 5 million things. It was awesome Monday. Or like 5 million reports. Ugh. Anyway, y'all don't want it. Did not come to hear about my life. What did you think of this episode?
I liked it. I liked it. I felt like it was a really great character study. I think it might be a challenge for some folks because we've been getting these like high impact, like boom, 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 go, go, go episodes. And this one just slowed down. And really, it was a character study for Lena. It was a character study for James Van Jones, as we've taken to calling him. And it was a true reveal of Manchester Black. And I don't know that people were ready for that drastic shift, but I still think it worked.
I didn't think it was a slowdown. And I didn't think it was a drastic shift. Last week, we watched this man shoot 5 people in the back.
Well, this is true. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
No, it was last week because they still aired an episode last Sunday. So yeah, it was last week. We watched this man right before the Thanksgiving holiday shoot 5 people in the back.
I'm sorry. Why am I laughing at that?
I mean, because they were horrible people, so we don't feel that bad about it. But all that to say, not surprised. I think, I'm not going to lie, I definitely gasped when he gave up Supergirl. Because I was
like, what are you doing?
Here's my thing. It's not so much that he gave up Supergirl, but what you've been working with her. What about her and you and your partnership made you think that she actually wouldn't be down for that plan? That was more like, I was more shocked that he did it because I'm like, I think he could have worked with her on that one and she would have been down.
Okay, so here's the thing. At first, up until the point where he's like, oh, I guess it's time to let the bird fly free, I'm like, oh, she's not in on this. Yeah. She was in on this. She's not in on this. It's a problem.
Yeah, like that was my thing.
I mean, if he had met up with Agent Liberty, he was perfectly okay letting her die. And I was like, baby, what is you doing? But you know what it is? He is so consumed by his grief and his loss that he's clearly not thinking straight. Like you said, had he talked to her, she would have been down for a plan or a trick.
Yeah.
I think this was heavy. If you consider, this was pretty heavy and dark for a Supergirl episode when you think about it. But I appreciate it being dark, but staying true to the characters. I'm looking at you, Flash. Just throwing it out there.
And that's the thing
I still haven't watched that show this season.
Oh, it's so good this season, though.
I believe you.
It's so good.
Take your word for it.
Yeah, no, it's really good. I'm like all upset because I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean you're not watching it?
Look, that was me last season, and then I got midway through, like, what did I just do with half my life? I'm on the second half of my life. I can't waste time.
That's also understandable. But yeah, that's the thing is that I just feel like he has to not be thinking straight because they were working so well together. They were so good. They were enjoying each other. And other than her every once in a while having to be like, hey, can you stop? Can you stop just like beating people to death? Other than that, like everything was working out. And the plan still could have happened because all that would, like, the same exact thing could have happened, except she would have had the assurance of knowing that there was backup or like something.
Yeah.
To, you know, like that's the thing. It like it could have went the exact same way, except, you know, Alex would have been there in the background or something like that, like hiding somewhere on the island or whatever. So I was just really upset with him. Because I think I tweeted last night, I was like, I know Manchester's not necessarily, it was when he was punching people. I was like, I know he's not necessarily on the right path, but like, can we keep him? And then like 20 minutes later, he betrayed everybody. And I was like, damn it, they're not going to let us keep him.
Oh, and then what he did to John.
That was, to me, actually, I'm not going to lie.
That was
he
the
did
point
what he
of no
did to
return.
Supergirl. I was like, we could still redeem him. But then when he did what he did to John, I was like, I just cannot abide by that.
He's so hurt that he's got to spread it to everybody, and it's a problem. Mm-hmm. It's a problem.
And again, it goes back to what we were talking about the week before, really showing that everybody has a reason for why they're doing what they're doing. Everybody has good reason for why they're doing what they're doing, but being very clear that what they're doing is not okay. And that's where we are with Manchester. Like, he has hit a point where it's like, this is not okay. And we don't know if you can come back from this. Lena, on the other hand, she's really grappling with a lot, and in a way that you really feel for her.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it's like her whole conversation with this guy, Adam, beautiful. Their scenes together were beautiful.
Yes. Loved it.
When she talks about
the one act, it would have made a beautiful one act play. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like when she talks about her birth mother, the way he talks about his brother and the survivor's guilt that he's dealing with. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of some of my favorite, like you said, plays. Like some of my favorite plays are two people on stage. And maybe one other person walks in through a scene at one point. But like for the majority, it's just like two people on the stage. So I'm perfectly fine with the episode where it's two people in a room. If the acting is good and the writing is good, I don't need nothing else. And that's what all of those scenes were. Like when they first meet and the whole time he's like, so this scientist, what does he want? And this scientist, this guy. And then he's like, when am I going to meet him? And she's all like, it's me.
And he was like, womp, womp.
The acting. Like, because the whole time she's like, she's clocking him every single time he says guy. She's like,
Shout out to Katie. Yes. She held her English accent. An American accent. I mean, towards the end of the episode, she starts slipping back and forth again. But for the critical moments in their interactions, she held that American accent. Whew. Like, I was about to make a tasteless joke. Never mind. Never mind.
I know.
All I'm going to say is rest in peace, victims of the Titanic. That's all I'm going to leave it. I'm going to hell.
You are. No, I love those scenes when she talked, and even with what he was saying about his brother and him getting the parable or whatever right, and saying he didn't want to be a hero. It's like, if I was her, I wouldn't have injected him still. Because even though he says he doesn't want to be a hero, he is willing to make himself a sacrifice.
Right.
Which means he believes that he's okay with dying because he believes that he deserves to die.
Yeah.
Which also isn't good.
What Okay, so and I hope, no offense, you know how they say nobody know death, but I hope his death was real
Oh,
because
I
that
think
makes
so.
the episode more powerful. If he comes back, I'm going to be deeply disappointed. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah. No, I think he's definitely dead because, like, just from like a science point of view, I don't think Lena would lie about something like that.
Yeah.
And the fact that even with her tests and her parables and all this other stuff, this idea, Lena's idea that, well, if she gets somebody that doesn't want to be a hero, it's okay to give them powers.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control this.
Yeah.
You cannot control this. And at the end of the day, who are you to decide?
There's that, but then you don't understand. Okay. Again, everyone knows that I watch a shit ton of Chinese dramas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here lately, I've been on a historical Chinese drama fix. And one of the things I always notice is that the guy who starts off as just a basic prince, just, trying to do the right thing, once he becomes emperor, becomes an absolute piece of shit because he is seen as the god of the son of heaven, the leader of the world. And that goes to your head when you got a harem of 12 women popping out babies and everybody like licking your boots. It changes and warps you. And that's what she's not thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
To make the parallels, like it's one thing to have someone come in with good intentions and a good heart, but you don't know what that level of power can do. It doesn't warp everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
most people cannot handle that responsibility, not responsibly.
And again, it doesn't warp everybody, but there's also no way to know.
Mm-mm.
There is
You don't know
no
until
way.
it's too late, usually.
Mm-hmm. So this idea that she's just going to pick the right person based on some weird test that she's set up to test someone's personality. I mean, even if you think about like all the stuff that astronauts, right? All the stuff that astronauts have to go through, and they do all this to like test your psyche and to test your physical fitness and all this other stuff. How many movies have we watched where something goes wrong in space and everyone goes crazy? Because you don't know until you're in that situation. Like you can't test for how do I react to this situation that I never thought I would find myself in. So this is all going to blow up in her face. And I just also really hate it because I don't want her to look like she said she already has this weight of her brother and her mother and what they've done. And so she's constantly battling the fact that people don't trust her.
Mm-hmm.
And all this is going to do is make it look like they were right to not trust her. Which I hate because, I love her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
We did get that beautiful like moment when Jimmy came back and apologized because let's talk about James Van Jones.
I want to punch him in his beautiful face.
It's so beautiful and he's so dumb. I just want to know. So he gets kidnapped by Tom. Tom, who I kind of still don't trust.
Right. I'm like, it all felt staged.
It did. Do you watch no, I know you don't. The new season of Arrow. There is a character on the show right now.
Really? You set your mouth to ask me if I watch
I know.
Arrow.
That's why I was like, wait, hold on. Who am I talking to? The new season of Arrow, he's in jail, and there is this character right now.
Still?
Yeah, he's still in jail right now.
So this is Prison Break now?
No, Never mind. What happened?
Never mind. I don't care.
Was that he had the opportunity to break out, and then he was like, I can't because then I'll be a fugitive for the rest of my life, and like I can't do that to my family. So he actually stayed. But yes. So what happened is that there's a character he's in there with who's kind of he's like a quiet, nerdy guy. And he tried to befriend Oliver, and then because of that, like, he's been getting like beat up and whatever. Like, people have been using this guy against Oliver because they know like Oliver will take care of him, right?
Right.
Except the whole entire time I'm watching it, I'm over here like, this guy's the feds. Like, clearly something is going on, and this guy is the feds, because there's just no way that he's doing all this, sticking by Oliver's side, and he's not shady. And this is how I feel about Tom. Tom has done nothing, in my opinion, to prove that what he did to Jimmy, he truly is remorseful for, and that he's changed. There's nothing that he's done. Like, even the like escape, that didn't even, I still don't believe him. I just don't. Because we've just seen Tom be shady too much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it just felt staged. Even towards the end, I'm like, I feel like this is a long con, except then I watch how Lockwood reacted. So I'm like, is it a long con? I don't know. Maybe, you know what?
Watching
maybe it's not. Because, wait. Maybe Tom saw that dragon and realized he bit off more than he could chew.
No, but the dragon came before he got Jimmy taken away by those guys in the mask. That's the thing, is like, he's saying like, well, I thought they were just gonna talk to you. You thought a bunch of guys in masks pulling up in a van just wanted to talk? I don't believe
ain't
you.
That bright.
It's just not realistic.
Jimmy's not bright.
No, I'm saying Tom. Like, for him to be like,
Jimmy. I keep saying Jimmy. Tom's not that bright.
Oh yeah, there's that. But yeah, I don't trust Tom. I do not at all. And James, his whole, when they threatened Tom, and again, they threatened Tom to get Jimmy to do what they wanted. So again, that is shady to me. But his whole thing of, I'll let them destroy my reputation, because my reputation isn't what really matters. Like, you know, I can rebuild that, or whatever the fuck he thinks. I feel like we have seen Jimmy acknowledge before that he is a black man living in this world.
Right.
So why he thinks that he can, you know, pretend or whatever, under duress, pretend to be a part of the Children of Liberty and validate them, and then somehow like rebuild his reputation later. Sir, you are black.
And the DA has already threatened your ass.
Exactly. Whatever little reputation that you have, believe me, you have struggled to get it, and to rebuild it once it is broken will be 100 times harder than it was to build it in the first place. I'm sorry.
Everybody gonna be looking at you the way we look at Herman Cain and Van Jones. Again, Van Jones.
The way, look, all I'm gonna
Stacey
say,
Dash. There's a long list.
All I'm gonna say is that right now, what's the best way to say it? Right now, we tolerate Don Lemon. We tolerate him because he seems to have learned his lesson. But that'll change in an instant.
We have not forgotten.
We have not forgotten. Like, we might forgive. We will never forget.
Ever. Never, ever. Never, ever. Ever.
Yeah. So I don't know where Jimmy thinks that he's just gonna, I'll trash my reputation, I can build it back up. No, sir, you cannot, because we will forever side eye you. I was, big old dummy. I can't. I can't stand it. I really can't. So yeah, the only redeeming thing for me was at the end when he came to talk to Lena. But then I was kind of also like, but you don't even know that she been out here playing games and experimenting on people. So you picked the exact wrong time to come back and apologize to her.
And you just dropped in unannounced, like you didn't just like semi break up with her like 2 weeks ago. You better come correct.
Well,
we need some romance, some apologies.
But that's how men are. like you go through some stuff and then they'll show up like, hey, so we should talk. Or not.
Let's not and say we did. How about that?
Ugh,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was Jimmy. That Lena, Manchester. I don't.
The episode was for as dense as it was simple.
Yeah, it was really simple. I don't feel the need to necessarily go over the stuff that happened with Kara. It was just kind of all interwoven with what was going on with Manchester and everything.
I'm still just so hurt for John.
I was so hurt for John. The way when he showed up to tell her what happened with Manchester, and he was just like, I failed so bad. And
at first I thought he was still wearing the amplifier. I'm like, he couldn't get it off.
I know. It's like when you watching a parent cry, he came to tell his daughters that what happened, and I just felt so bad for him.
Alex gonna be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna go off.
What I will say is that I did feel that the imagery was a little heavy-handed. When they crucified Kara, I was like, okay.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
Oh yeah. No, they were totally making it it was very much so let's set up Kara as this Jesus figure that they're, sacrificing. It was very extra.
This is my head, and this is me missing the point.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was like, I guess. I guess
it's a Jesus figure when she came up out of the monument, though.
Yeah, that too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, when they put her in the chains.
Yeah, I can see it now.
They have her all bound in a cross and everything. I was like, okay, Kara, Jesus, I guess.
I'm like, it's from some yahoos that probably get drunk every week, and they got surprisingly good aim getting them chains around her.
Right? Because you tell me to swing a chain, and I don't know what we doing.
I might put her eye out by accident.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're trying to kill him, that don't matter, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. I overall, I really enjoyed the episode. I liked the way they really utilize their characters, and the acting I just thought was phenomenal all around. Seriously, I know Manchester is messed up, but can we keep him? Because David Ajala is doing such a good job. He's doing such a good job. David Ajala is amazing.
Eyes and that skin. Oh, and yes, he's acting good, but his eyes. And his skin.
Oh God, he's so freaking beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, I just I love him so much. Yeah. That's all I got. You want to go to the feedback?
Yeah. So Latoya says, I like Manchester going for. He really did go John. Except John had a code. Apparently Manchester has none. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? Supergirl is still annoying. I didn't think she was annoying, but I get it. People don't like her, although it's gonna be tough watching it. It is her show. Marion Jimmy, I appreciate your "they can damage my reputation, but they can't destroy the man I am" speech, but cut that out and stop aiding these fools. Manchester Black is like, you thought I was a nice guy. Well, sorry to disappoint you. Lena, yes, you will always be a Luther. Hey, 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 hey. We like Lena. Calm down over there.
Yeah, like, again, she's not doing the best job, but she
means well, but then again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
And the thing that sucks is because the minute she does slip up, they are going to be like, well, you know, she was always a Luther. So,
why did you say Luther like that?
Because, you know, that's how people are when they being all...
Oh, God, you really did just seem like that. I'm mad at you right now. What's that?
That's how people are when they like being like rude about it. They're like, well, you know, because you know how they are.
Joseph, hey, buddy. This was the first episode this season that got a meh from me. Adam was forgettable. Okay. Lena is letting her Luther shine through, and Jimmy was just dumb. Yeah, he was. Watching Supergirl fail in her from Manchester was fun, though. Manchester ain't about that life. That said, I consider this a temporary hiccup, and I have high hopes it will repair itself next weekend.
Okay.
I didn't mind Adam. He served the purpose of Lena exploring her ethical boundaries. And she's still struggling with those. So thought he was good placement. Sherrod says, got to agree with Joseph. Mad episode. Jimmy been off the last 2.5 episodes now. Lena getting closer to evil Luther, which saddens me a bit. Lena being gray is best to me. Kara getting played once again. She's getting up there with Perry at this point. That's rude. Okay, but you're not wrong.
You're so upset. Like, look at you laughing. Oh my God. You're so bad.
He's not wrong. Okay. I'm sorry. Gerard says, see, Jimmy, I was with you being the upgrade to the 5'5" white boy. I was with you wanting to make a name for yourself other than being Clark's buddy. Shit, I was even with you when you miraculously started doing actual work and wearing tailored shit at Catco, but this wanting to hear outside shit has got to stop, man. I'm starting to wonder if Jimmy actually has black or white parents, because this is some white people shit he is.
Oh my God, you guys are so mean today.
Manchester's out here pulling a quarter marker on Supergirl and crew. But I appreciate him just being who he is and going through with his plan to take down Liberty by any means necessary. Kara is doing a great job on her journey, as well as understanding what it takes to be a true ally, even if it is as an allegory. And I meant to say this last week about Lena too, but she was looking fine as hell at Thanksgiving dinner. I was yelling out, my sweet milk of magnesia.
My milk of magnesia.
Oh God, y'all are killing me. I love it. But thank y'all as always for the great work. Thank you. He said, it's sorry for the run on here. I was rushing on my laptop, making sure I got it on time. But you were in plenty of time. This was 6 hours ago you did this. Christopher, hey boo. I know an episode happened. Oh my God,
I hate everyone right now. I hate everyone.
I know an episode.
You are the worst. Like, you can't even get through it. You can't even get through it.
Hey, I needed to laugh, okay? I know an episode happened, but the only thing I loved in this episode is the Lena and Adam scenes. They were great scenes. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, they were great scenes. I don't know why, but those two actors just had so much chemistry, not sexual, obviously. And I really liked his story about him not thinking he deserves to be alive because of what happened to his brother. I would have killed that fucking spider. I definitely wouldn't have been chosen. Y'all, spiders, unless you're poisonous, can be very helpful to the household. Seriously, unless they are in my bed, they can float in the shower. As long as they don't land in my bed or my food, I'll leave them alone. Like, y'all gone. I'll relocate them to a different part of the house, but I don't kill them.
I try not to, but also there are times, like, I swear, whenever I see a spider, it's like I'm just sitting there and I'm not doing anything, and then I look up and it's like staring at me, and I'm like, how long have you been there? Because it feels like they've been staring at me for an eternity. And I didn't notice them.
They're probably thinking, like, what answer would make you feel least threatened?
I feel like spiders are spying on me, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they pretty much are. I actually got a little teary-eyed when we found out he died because I really like this character. Mm-hmm. I'm glad he died, though, because I would have hated to see them turn him into something gross. Mm-hmm. Amani, hey, boo. Lena is going full Luther this season with the most understandable path to being the villain. I'm here for it, and Mad Chesterwick. Meanwhile, they got my poor homie John crying all the tears. That man been through enough. Just let him sit there and meditate. Jesse, I was on the Chris villain agenda with Manchester until he backstabbed Kara. All the people he killed to get information needed killing, but he was kind of dumb thinking he would get to Commander Liberty that easily. Yeah, when you're that grief-stricken with what you're doing, I don't know that you're thinking clearly. Mm-hmm. So, and the result is what we got. So, yeah. That's it.
We didn't talk about it too much, but of course they gave Lockwood his own show. Of course. He's like the Megyn Kelly of... like, of course. And then when it turns out that he's like an evil whatever, they're still going to pay out his contract. That's what's going to happen.
I said he was the Bill O'Reilly, but...
Right. That too. I was just like, I saw that. I was like, of course he gets his own show. But the lockdown with Lockwood. I was just like, I hate everyone. I hate everyone involved.
Well, we knew this was coming last week. He got the call when he was at home with his wife.
I know, but I just like, ugh. And of course they have it set. It's like, you watched Scandal, right?
Up until she got kidnapped, and then I stopped giving a damn. But yes.
Who was it? It's the woman who used to be the like vice president. She gets her own like talk show, like Fox News style talk show. It's like,
Miss Gray's mama.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And like, okay. I know it's a thing because it's a thing in real life, but it just annoys me that it's a thing in real life that these people, it's like the worst possible people get these shows.
Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong there. Not wrong.
It's like the only reason it happens on our TV shows is because it's a real life thing, and that just frustrates me. All right. So next week is the episode right before we start getting into the crossover.
Wow.
I'm so excited. So it's called Bunker Hill. And this one is directed by Kevin Smith. It's the Kevin Smith directed episode. Which I always enjoy. And it's supposed to focus on Nia. So I'm excited about that. So yes, it's gonna be good time. Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. And then after that, Elseworlds.
We got to see if the guys will tolerate us this year. Last year, we were on rocky ground.
I just want to point out that I've already sent out calendar invites. I sent out calendar invites about this like a month ago.
No, I didn't get one.
I definitely did.
You definitely didn't include me, and I'm definitely
definitely included you, and you should check your email. Anyway, I'm super excited. I cannot wait for Elseworlds. Yeah, I don't think I've been this excited for a crossover, but everything they have given us, everything they have shown us, the behind the scenes stuff, the posters, the trailers. I am so excited for this crossover.
Look, last year they gave us a Justice League movie we deserved, and that WB refused to give us. So hey, I trust it. Yes. That's all I'm saying.
And it's also going to be perfect because it's going to be the night after I go see Childish Gambino.
Look at you.
So excited. I bought these tickets and then that asshole went and broke his foot. So.
Oh, so this is the redo.
Yeah, this is the reschedule. So super excited. It's also going to be after all my craziness at work. I'm so excited. Just that week is going to be everything. I'm just excited. All right, so we will see all of you back next week. We will be even more excited. And also next week, we have a special guest.
It's a mystery guest. It's a surprise guest. You have to come back and listen and find out.
We have a special guest joining us for next week's podcast. I'm also super excited about that.
I need to take my ass to bed.
I was going to say, this is also why D. Paul and Chris don't want us on the podcast. It's okay. It's okay.
Hey, y'all better love us.
I know. We make everything better.
So we can talk all the shit.
All right. Thanks for listening, and we will see y'all back here next week.